Hi everyone, welcome back to my lab. If you're new, I'm Jody, welcome. Today I'm discussing the Dose of Colors Desi x Katy collaboration, which is a fairly new release to the Dose of Colors website. I do know that the collection is sold out at the moment, but they're scheduled for a restock in September. And in case you were debating on whether or not it was something you wanted to invest in, I wanted to share my review and experience using the products that I did purchase from the collection. And I do have all of the products except for two. So if you're interested in seeing my thoughts, then just keep on watching. The first thing that I wanted to mention is that the packaging is really nice, and it was created specifically for this collaboration in this sort of dusty rosy beige color. And so the box is in that material, and then also inside the box you can see the ladies logo Desi x Katy, and there's tissue paper, and everything was just packaged really nicely. The outer packaging is all uniform in that sort of rose gold shade. So this one here is an eyeshadow palette, and the smaller one is a highlighter. I have 4 of the lip products, and this is what the packaging looks like for those. It has the ladies signatures, so you see Luster Luxe and Desi Perkins. So it's beautiful packaging on the outside, all customized for this collection. I did think that was beautiful. As far as the packaging of the palette, the eyeshadow palette looks like this, and it has sort of a nylon covering. So this isn't plastic, it's cardboard, but it's covered with some sort of fabric, and it's very shimmery. It's not glitter that falls off or anything, and then the closure is magnetic like this. The highlighter looks very similar. So this is what the highlighter packaging looks like. It's a little bit smaller than the eyeshadow palette, but again, it's a magnetic closure, and it does have the Dose of Colors little metal tag here. I did notice that they came with these protective plastics, and the highlighter was white while the eyeshadow palette was blue, and that sort of thing, I don't know, I like uniformity, so it would have been nice if they were the same, or maybe if they had been removed prior to shipping them. So all in all, the packaging is sturdy, although it doesn't have the feel of a permanent collection at this price range, if you know what I mean. It just looks like a special edition thing that is just not going to be around forever. It is pretty, but I don't think it's the most luxe packaging as far as the two little palettes. Now, I do think that the lip products are packaged beautifully. The liquid lipsticks look like this. So I did buy both shades, and you can see the Dose of Colors logos there. And this is sort of a soft matte finish, and then it has that rose gold cap. The traditional lipstick looks like this, also very beautiful. And then I did purchase the lip gloss that looks like this. Now, as far as my thoughts with regard to the collection, actually just first wanted to share that when I first discovered YouTube and this beauty community, I discovered it through one of Katy's videos. So I was really excited when I heard that this collaboration was going to come out. I've been a big fan of both Desi and Katy. Here, their beautiful faces from the packaging. Ever since I discovered YouTube, and I've been subscribed to their channels ever since. I really enjoy watching them, and I learn a lot from them. So I was really excited to support them in this collaboration. So on to my thoughts. The first thing, I wanted to get the bad out first, and I actually was debating on whether or not to purchase the eyeshadow palette. The eyeshadow palette does have a very nice mirror here on the front, and here are your shades. Now, this is an all shimmer palette, so it's not intended to be a standalone palette or anything like that. I did watch their promo videos where they were describing their thoughts and strategies behind the collection, and they did mention that they wanted these to be lid colors, and specifically the shade Suze and the shade Harpoon, which are these two sort of kitty corner from each other, were intended to be used wet. And these two could be used wet or dry, but all 4 of them were recommended to be applied with your fingers for maximum payoff. So at first, I wasn't gonna get this eyeshadow palette, but I know that a lot of people got the collection in PR, and I was watching their reviews, and the reviews were really favorable, including the eyeshadow palette. Originally, just from the promotion and the information that I had seen before, the eyeshadow palette didn't really appeal to me very much. I didn't think that the colors were anything really that unique or special, and for 4 shades at $28, I found it kind of pricey as well, and so I just really wasn't too sold on the eyeshadow palette. But then when I saw the reviews come in and they were very favorable, I was influenced to purchase the eyeshadow palette. Now, I've used all 4 shades, and I have to say I do regret buying this it's really challenging to use. So again, I'm not a makeup artist, so I'm not fully trained on using absolutely every kind of product, but I do use a lot of different kinds of products and I apply makeup regularly, but I struggled with this. First of all, applying the shadows with my fingers, I have very long fingernails, as you can see, and so when I dip my finger into the product and I apply it to my eyelid, I can't get into the inner corner of my eye at all. It's just empty, and I will insert some clips of me applying the eyeshadow so you can see that when I apply it with my fingers, I can't reach the inner corner. And so these two shades right here, again, Suze and Harpoon, are intended to be used wet, and I tried them with a wet brush and the finish just wasn't the same. Also, the consistency of the two shadows is not the same. Like when you use both of them, this Suze shade is very powdery at first, but then as soon as you wet it, it becomes almost like liquid metal. But this one doesn't have the same effect. It's an interesting shade, but it doesn't have the same effect as that one. Now, this is just a copper shade, and this one is sort of a purple with some bronzy glitters. Although they're pretty, to be honest, for me, it's just not worth the trouble that I had to go through to apply them. As soon as I start digging my hands in here, glitter falls out everywhere. It gets caught under my fingernails. I can't apply it to my full eyelid. I get glitter all over my face. The very first time that I used it, I was really frustrated trying to use it. I was doing a look. I think I used Suze and I used Turboson the first time that I used it. I used it a second time and I used Suze and Harpoon, and this is now my third time wearing it, and I'm wearing Suze and Noli on my lids. So the first time, I actually did my foundation first because I wanted to film just a few clips to insert, and so I didn't want to spend too much time on my base. So I did my foundation, and then when I tried to go in with the shadows, I got a lot of fallout. It was really challenging, and though I came up with a very pretty look, it was just not worth the trouble. My dusk was full of shadow. It was really messy. Really messy. And today I decided to do my eyes first, and so it was a little bit easier because I could apply the shadow even though you'll see all the fallout underneath my eyes as I try to apply it with my fingers. But at least I was able to get my shadow on and then clean up and then sort of start over with my regular makeup routine, and this palette just frustrates me too much. Also, I did notice that the pans, and this will be very hard for me to show you, but the pans are very deep inside the palette. And so when I press my finger in there, the palette almost stops me from fully grabbing the product inside, especially for this Suze shade, which is absolutely reliant on you using it with your fingers. It just, to me, I would pass on this product. It's just too challenging and frustrating, and I'm not enjoying using this particular product. So unfortunately, that's something that I do regret purchasing. However, the lip products are gorgeous. So I did purchase both of the liquid lipsticks, and these are not the same packaging as traditional Dose of Colors lipsticks. Alright, so this is a traditional Dose of Colors lipstick package. This one is in the shade Kiss of Fire, and you will find that the packaging is different. It's a different size for sure. As you could see that difference right there. And then as far as the lipstick itself, okay, so this is what a traditional Dose of Colors lipstick looks like. So you can see compared to one of these, it's a little bit smaller and the packaging is different. I actually do like the normal packaging a little bit better because you can see the shade through it. With these two, you can only see the shade name underneath, or you have to open it up to figure out what the color is. I did pick up both shades and they were really, really nice. I enjoyed wearing them. I thought that they were very comfortable on the lips. That shade right there is called Sauvage, and this is the shade that I'm wearing, but I'll swatch it as well. That one is called Hot Fire. So I have worn both of these lipsticks, and upon application, they're very pigmented. They go on very creamy. They do last all day with minimal retouch, and they are comfortable. So as far as the Dose of Colors formula, it's not drying, and it's a very nice formula. I'm really, really happy with these. I think that as long as you're comfortable wearing bold colors, you will really, really enjoy these. So I definitely recommend those. I did pick up one of the traditional lipsticks, and I picked up the shade More Creamer Please. And this is what it looks like. It's beautiful packaging. It does have their logo on the metal part of the lipstick. It's super beautiful. I picked up the darker of the two shades, so that's what that one looks like. This is more creamer, please. Now the other shade is called No Shade. However, I think that would be way too light. Even this one was pushing it to being almost like concealer lips on me, but I do like it. It's very comfortable, very opaque, and I do recommend this as well. Each of the lip products were $18. Now this one, I believe this was $15, and this is a lip gloss. This one is called Over the Top, and it is just a gloss with a gold reflect. I have that one swatched right there. So I think this is nice. I don't think that it's anything super unique, but it is pretty and it does go along with the rest of the collection. So I think it's a very nice lip gloss. I'm not like very big on lip glosses, but as far as this one goes, I think it's nice and I will enjoy using it. And now for my absolute favorite product of all of them, it has to be the highlighter. So I only picked up this one, which is in the shade Mirame, and that's what this one looks like. This is the darker of the two. I was debating back and forth on which one to pick up. The other one is called Fuego, and this one is called Mirame. And I chose this one because it's a little bit darker, and I also noticed that the other one was more of a gold tone. But it is the highlighter that I'm wearing today, and I'm in love with this highlighter. When I put it on, like when I saw it, it doesn't look like much in the pan. I mean, it's just your traditional powder highlight. It's a little bit dry of a formula, but when I apply it, like it just gives me such a nice glow, and it doesn't emphasize my texture or anything like that, and I just think it blends so nicely. I use my Anastasia A23 brush to blend it in, and I really enjoyed it. I really wish I had skipped on the eyeshadow palette and purchased the other highlighter as well, because if it's anything like this, I just know I'll really love it. This was my absolute favorite thing from the collection. I think it's a beautiful collection. I'm only a little bit disappointed in the eyeshadow palette, but absolutely everything else is beautiful, and I'm really happy to add it to my collection. Let me know what you picked up from the collection, and if you had a similar experience, or if your experience was different, or if you have any tips for me on how I can make the eyeshadow palette work a little bit better. And yeah, just let me know in the comment section below. I would love to know. And if you're considering picking up the collection when it restocks again in September, then let me know what you're gonna pick up, as I am always very interested in chatting makeup with you. Thank you so much for watching my video. I hope you're having a wonderful day wherever you are. Don't ever be afraid to experiment with makeup, because you can always wash it off at the end of the day or immediately if necessary. I'll see you really soon on my next video. Bye!